Hey, and good morning, everybody. Morning,
Morning.
Matt. Morning, Justin. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you
Really
for having me
exciting.
today. Yeah.
Yes, today's a very special day. Today is our 100th live stream. We've been doing
That's
this for
that's a lot of live streams.
that's a
That's
lot
a
of
lot
live
of live
streams, a
stream.
lot of hours, a lot of time and prep. So before we dive into this a little retrospective, I just want to say hello. I'm George Datterman, president of Valiant Technology. We're an IT service provider located in New York, but we work across the U.S. With a bunch of different type of clients, mostly in the advertising and creative spaces. And we're really excited to do this live stream. This thing was kind of born out of the pandemic necessity of March 2020. We didn't really know what we were going to do. We kind of had this like day of like, well, maybe we should start doing something on the internet.
We got all these kids out here with the twitching or whatever it is that they do, so let's try that.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And so it just kind of started like made us talky about things that we do all the time with our customers and or things that we do for ourselves as an IT service company, and just topics that are important for both ourselves and for small medium businesses that need these kind of IT services to function, and even more so. Throughout this pandemic time, where it's lockdowns and everyone's kind of watching the news during 2 days before Christmas and the holiday week, and things are being locked down here in New York, and you can't get a COVID test for love or money, and it's definitely a tough time. So, but our live stream is a pretty regular thing. We do it every Thursday at 10:30. It's like such a watch to it, well, mostly, and we did a pretty good job of it. So before we do it, Matt, give us the name. Why did you pick the name of this title for this episode? It's kind of an interesting title, a little weird. People might be a little confused.
yeah, of course. I'm gonna blame a salesperson over at another MSP in Wisconsin named Dave. We were chatting a little bit yesterday, and I was listening to music like I normally do, and he kind of got me a little fired up. Saw me chug like 20 ounces of coffee in front of him because I just couldn't wake up yesterday, and I put Spotify on, and the first thing that played was "Born Under Punches" by the Talking Heads, and it's off one of my favorite albums of theirs. I mean, it came out before I was even born, but it's always been something that's played in the house, and I've blasted it in many offices many a times and gotten many crazy looks from people. And the first song on the album is called "Born Under Punches," and the cover for today's episode similar to the cover of the Remain in Light album that it's off of. And
Right.
Given that the stream really is something that came out of adversity and uncertainty for us with regards to the pandemic and not being able to be in the same room or directly communicate with our customers or prospects, kind of goes hand in hand with the song. The song's very much about finding a space where you exist and where you belong and moving between the cracks for the sake of moving forward, really
Right.
rolling with the punches. And, the end of the song's got this kind of like repetitive "and the heat goes on." And I think that's also kind of very, very connected to this because we're not stopping this anytime soon. The heat's going to go on. It's going to get hot.
Yeah, it's getting hot. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening. We're gonna, I think, just part of it is we really didn't know what we were doing when we started it, and it sort of became a very much like a response. But now it's become a core piece of something we do as a weekly, regardless if Matt's not available or I'm not. It's part of our company's DNA at this point. Like it's really,
for sure.
people look forward to it. They're like, hey, what are you doing this week on that live stream? How do you keep it going? Which we'll talk to you in a little bit. Was this? I think there's infinite information or desire to share information out there.
There's certainly no lack of new things happening in IT. That's kind of the
Exactly.
standard. There's always something new.
Always something new. Not to mention just the kind of overwhelming cybersecurity kind of landscape we're living in now. Hellscape, I think, is actually a term I've seen used out there. It's just persistent threats and there's the challenges just to conduct. On top of the normal challenges of trying to keep your business operational and efficient and moving forward. So It's really tough. So, you know, and as I said, this came out of a thing, and the first episodes are like literally watching. I think when we discussed it earlier, I think it's like watching bad home videos. I was looking for Bob Saget to come out somewhere.
He's doing his voice in the background as we're stumbling.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Me of high school with a little video camera and my friends running around, and I have a box of tape somewhere that I'm just too mortified to actually look at to see what's on there.
I found footage recently, a VHS cassette of me playing soccer when I was a kid in a game, Massapequa Soccer Club or League or whatever it was called, and I just get nailed in the face with the soccer ball and I drop, and I'm like, that wasn't really that bad. You know, but talking about SharePoint the first time, oof.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
Yeah, like multi-factor authentication.
Take a knee on that one.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, we really didn't have an idea of what we wanted it to be. We just wanted to. I think part of it was we were so used to working together every day and seeing each other every day, and now we were in this lockdown and in this isolation, and there was something about having that. Just like that conversation with each other, with with ourselves, and it took us a while to figure out what would necessarily be interesting for other people to listen to as well. But at least in the beginning, I think it was stuff that we liked.
I mean, part of it is it's a vehicle to explore topics that we don't necessarily may or may not talk about in our day-to-day operational. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
People may be like, part of our days are struggling with, procurement and buying equipment or speccing gear. And that's kind of like a brutal, just kind of like grinds you out a little bit. It's tough work.
Yeah.
And, sometimes we're like, well, how does, DNS work? Like, what does it do exactly? Or what is the best way to protect
Seriously,
X.
until like 3 weeks ago, I thought DNS was like your acronym for Denny's or something. It was just like, come on. I know that was bad. I'm out of jokes for the year.
No,
I know. Hey, Drew. Good morning. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. So I think that we have a great. I think it's a good. And what we found was that it's not necessarily people watch it live all the time, but we watch. That people definitely check it out from time. When they're looking for something or a topic, and they want to have some conversational aspect of like trying to explain something. And sometimes the topics we talk about are fairly complex. Like they can get really in depth, and we want to break it down to something that's manageable. But I think that myself included, it's really easy to get kind of consumed with the acronyms and that stuff. So thank you, Ian. Yeah, I'm not going to go into a big Lotus Nose explanation. I promise you.
No.
I won't bore you. I won't bore you with that. And
that's for a very special episode.
We should do an episode where we all kind of look extra aged, kind of do the makeup, and like, let me tell you about Windows NT4 6-pack A. No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, it was a 6 SPA, something like that.
Service Pack 6A would like take down RAID drivers and all this other crazy stuff. I remember having these IBM workstations and them just completely crumbling. But that's for another
time. For another day. So I think one thing we wanted to just kind of, as you were saying, like just to retrospectively talk about like what we did, what we're doing differently now. Some of it's really different. Some of it's really more of the same. And part of it is a little bit of an uplift of tech, and we're still kind of working the kinks out on that. Matt does a lot of the heavy lift in terms of like, hey, this is what we should use as a platform, and this is how we should build the graphics, and you can see some of the early episodes have almost nothing in them besides just talking heads.
Someone send us a Valiant shirt to this guy watching 100 episodes.
Thank you, Ango. That's a very deep
derivative.
Always sunny. Derivative, exactly. Thank you.
All right, so look, we want to talk a little bit about behind the scenes and how we're doing some of the stuff, right?
Yeah, and that's all Matt is the heavy lifting on that, because definitely the first episodes were very much us just getting together and say, let's just turn the camera on. We'll get into StreamYard, which was the first innovation that Matt brought us, and just start talking. And now, like, it's way super polished and organized.
StreamYard is a platform that kind of came out around the same time, or at least grew in popularity really rapidly. I mean, there's Restream, there's a bunch of other stuff. My buddy Phil, who was with us, I guess in 2020, He was one of the
2020.
first people that came
Yeah.
on with us. Him and I were going back and forth and things, and then I remember going to George and being like, I think we should use StreamYard, and
I was
it's
like, what the hell's a StreamYard?
what's a Hotmail? I don't know where I am right now.
At that moment, I was like, dude, and also being in 2020, it was kind of like, well, how much does it cost?
Yeah.
How expensive is it? How
$10. Do you know how many bean burritos I can get for that? Like, come on.
and go to Wawa.
But you know what? We did it,
10, sir.
and we started using just whatever equipment we had around. In
Right.
many cases, it was just the laptops that we took out of the office and the built-in cameras and microphones, and that was great for the beginning because it had a very DIY kind of feel, and it was nice that we didn't have any particular goals set to try to achieve. Everything we did was just an experiment and trying to push things forward. And I think that's what made it so fun and a bit interactive, and got other people involved and wanting to, contribute or ask questions, get us thinking about other things to talk about. So that was great. And, now we have upgraded some of our equipment. If I got my Canon here, we just installed a new Canon and microphone in the office setup. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to use that for a few weeks. But that's another improvement, and we've upped different types of production tools. And as time has gone on, I mean, we built more structure. Like even today, I'm gonna show today's structure document and completely raise the curtain. Is that the right term? Raise the curtain?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sounds
Raise
good.
bar.
Yeah.
Curtain.
Boom. So here we go. This scrolling the wrong thing. This is the type of document that we have every single week. It's just got the synopsis at the top and the graphic and a little bit of notes. So here were the lyrics for the song that I was thinking about when we put this whole thing together. It was just trying to get everyone on the same page, and the openings, the different segments, what we're going to show on screen. See, now I'm just ruining it for everyone because they're seeing it.
Yeah, I know. Like seeing how the sausage is made.
Yeah, you got to get that sausage off the screen. But so documents came together, and we had more and more structure, and we got hats from people, and yes, thank you, Drew. It's the veil, not so much the curtain. And as time went on, we came up with more and more ideas and different things to do. We started building our opening and closing sequences, and those are just done in Adobe Premiere, and they're very, very basic. They don't take too much time, and they're flexible and easy to work with each week. And another thing we did was we started integrating a bit of music into those as well. And I got to give a shout out to the artist Monkey Warhol, whose song Lunar Phases is the one that we've been using for the past, 6 or 7 months now.
Yeah, it's
and
been a while.
it just fits, It was one of those things where I was looking online for something and I heard that song and I just had that moment where I was like, all right, this works. The intro's in my head. Let's roll with it. And, it's been something that has been iterative improvement over the course of the past 18 months or whatever it's been. And it's amazing to see how we do this every week. I mean, it's not exactly like South Park putting out a new episode every week, but they're also not updating machines for.
Yeah, it's close to that.
Yeah.
I don't like using the term it's organic, but it fits because at least in my own personal projects, I always get bogged down in that perfectionist of, oh, well, I'm going to have to get all this gear and I have to get this thing set up and I have to do all this. And I get stuck in the minutia of doing those things. And I think part of the reason why this has been successful is that we didn't do that. We started with, let's just see what we can do. And like I said, that iterative improvement, that let's just make this one thing a little better. Now that that's a little better, let's work on something else. And that's...
And Justin, you're perfectly imperfect. All right.
It's wabi-sabi is what it is.
Yeah.
And speaking of, we have gotten a lot of support from people over the past, year and a half with this. We've had a lot of really great partner companies come on and team members and members of the MSP community. Right. And, I did want to do something really nice today, and I didn't want to make a big deal because I don't want to celebrate 100 episodes. I want to look towards 101 and 102 and 103, do the whole sequence of whatever numbers, however high I can count. So we'll see how many months we have. But I did want to share this with you guys. So take a seat back and enjoy.
Congratulations. Serious? Okay, we got to restart.
Right, hey, thank you. You saved me plenty of times, maybe 100. Thank you.
Congratulations, George, Matt, and the whole team at Valiant for your 100th live stream. Your team puts out consistently good, valuable, practical content for vendors, clients, and the community alike. Keep it up. I look forward to the next 100, the next 1,000. Wherever you guys want to go, you're going to get there. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hi, Team Valiant. This is Marnie Stockman from Lifecycle Insights. I just wanted to say congratulations on two things. First, your 100th episode. That's a lot of really amazing content and insights that you give to small businesses in the world of technology today. So congratulations on that. You've provided a ton of value. And second, I think Matt Fox just rocks the hats in general. Have a good one.
Hey, it's you guys, Slippy. Just wanted to come through for a second and say congratulations on 100 episodes, and hey, here's to another 100, all right there, guys? All right, gotta get out of here. Slippy out.
George, Megan, Matt, congratulations, guys. 100 episodes of Valiant Live, that's no small feat. I appreciate the conversations, the thought leadership, the education. It's just amazing what you guys have done over these past 100 episodes. I appreciate both from being on the episodes and having amazing conversations with you all, and also watching from the sidelines and in the chat. I always enjoy going back and listening to what you guys had to talk about. So congratulations on the last 100, and I'm looking forward to 100 more.
Hey, Valiant team. Congratulations on 100 episodes.
Hey everybody, this is Jonathan Crow from Ninja One, and you know what? In these crazy times that we live in, there's one thing I know I can count on, is that Valiant Technology is going to be there live on my screen streaming on Thursdays. Why do I know this? Because they've done it 100 times. You guys, you did 100 episodes. This is a huge achievement. Hats off to you for being so reliable. That is incredible longevity. And what's even more remarkable is you guys have not lost steam at all. In fact, you're picking it up. I'm always appreciative of the topics that you cover, that you get your fingers on the pulse of what people want to know about, what they need to know about in terms of IT today. And I also really appreciate your compass in terms of directing how you're going to talk about these topics, making them approachable. What are the takeaways that are actually practical? I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I can't wait to see what's in store for 2022. And I want to be right back here and celebrating the 200th episode. So thank you guys so much for doing what you do, and keep at it.
Oh man, thank you, Matt, for putting that together. That was really cool.
Thanks, everybody.
Really cool, and thanks for all the folks who participated in that. I mean, Ray, Marnie, Drew, man, thanks a lot. Jonathan, Dan. Yeah. I mean, Jonathan, I think you kind of started all this in a lot of ways, Jonathan, with reaching out to Matt back 2 years ago or more, when you were like, "Hey, you guys have a really cool website," and we were like, "Huh, what is this ninja thing?" Yeah. And Matt and I, Matt really dove into kind of our community relationship and our outside view. Like I said, we were very in the past, we've been a very insular looking company to some degree, and not having, we were kind of only not doing as much as we wanted to do. And Matt kind of took it out there. Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining us. My cat's here too. Awesome.
Where did Justin go? Justin was like, "Hey, Ryan, gone."
Bye. He's like, "See y'all later." But I think a lot of that is, but once again, I really love doing these. I look forward to it every week, and I think Matt and I and Justin. I think Justin, unfortunately, we're so swamped that Justin had to take a little break. But I think coming in 2022, we have a little more Justin on the stream,
a little more free time to come back.
Exactly, a little more available at thought leadership time, which is great. With Justin, you always have such great concepts and thoughts that I think it's super useful for the community. And unfortunately, Megan couldn't meet with me to say she's not feeling so great. Give her some good wishes. Hope she feels better. And honestly, this has just been really overwhelming. Thank you guys. I'm kind of almost a little stunned. Not as stunned as when I ate that old bandage last week on the Festivus. That was pretty terrible, by the way.
Those may have fell into the garbage can when I was in the office on Tuesday. But enough about that. Let's talk about.
To try one of those.
Hey, you can still go to the garbage can. Let's talk a little bit really quickly about what we've got in store for 2022. I don't want to hold things up. We got a lot of work to do before the holidays really kind of ramp up. So. We've received so much feedback from people, through people hitting me on Twitter, which is weird because I never really go on there, and now I do just because I want to see what's going on, or LinkedIn, or hear the comments, or on.
Nope, Matt's slowing down there.
Nope, I think we lost.
Matt, you got muted.
Was I muted that entire time?
Not the
You're
entire
muted.
time, just for the
Good
the
section
Everyone's
of it.
muted. StreamYard's not working.
No,
No, I hear you. I hear Justin. Hi,
I
Justin.
hear you, George. All right, yeah.
All right,
Uh,
cool. It's just my audio setup just completely failed on itself.
Hoping
You know,
it
you know,
Glitch.
is that,
We're-
is that
we're-
Murphy's
we're
Law?
yeah.
Yeah, that's actually Murphy's Law and Newton's Law. You know, everything goes wrong and then they fall down on me. Ooh,
Yeah.
Aquabats reference. Anyway, yeah, there is tons in store because of all the different kind of. Can you guys hear me? Because now I'm seeing comments about me being muted. Okay, thank you. I'm getting
Yeah,
all,
you're good now.
You know, they're calling me Matt Orsini in here like I'm Ray or somebody with the audio setups. Come on. But we've gotten feedback from small business staff members and owners and people in the community, and they're always questions that aren't just like questions that you answer. What color is the sky? I mean, they're questions where you can really dig in and understand why the questions are being asked and kind of go past the question itself to get to the genesis of it, so that you're not just providing an answer, but you're providing a solution. And it's a solution that many other people can use. And I think that that's a very fulfilling thing to be able to do. And you know, with all of the feedback we've received, we're going to have a lot more people coming on board here. I want to see more team members. We're going to have more community members. I'd love to see some members of the small business community in New York City that we work with come on board at times, whether customers or not. You know, people that we partner with. And you know, without question, we're going to be covering a lot more on what's important right now: cybersecurity, compliance. Remote work. I mean, clearly it's something we've been doing for a long time, and it's evolving, it's changing. There are new platforms to work with, new concerns, new ways to work remotely, new ways to collaborate with your team. And I want to make sure that we cover all of that.
All three of those things feed into each other. The changes in the way that we work have influenced the way that we have cybersecurity and what things we need to be compliant with. All three of those things go hand in hand.
And I think with the kind of permanent work from anywhere culture that that's evolved into now, and I think with this the kind of how this pandemic and the situations evolved, I think we're not going to see the end of this ever. You know, so we have to really build solutions around that and mindset, and also workflows for folks, and work with them so they can actually operate.
Absolutely. And you know, George, I know that now that everyone knows that we have these things split into segments and they're all kind of annotated, I'd love to ask you to handle segment 4 before we start calling it a day.
Absolutely. So, you know, so much of how we got here is that there's so much work that goes into these. Thank you, Ongo. I appreciate it.
Oh, wait, is that Stefan?
Yeah,
of course it's Stefan. Hi, Stefan. Stefan is very deep. We're going very deep into the Always Sunny references there, and he's like losing his mind, which was happening when you first see the oeuvre and the vastness of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a fan favorite inside our office. But anyway, just go back. We really, you know, we put so much work that goes into these, and this the kind of mindset and being a little bit unafraid to get out there, and you know, so we really want more questions, more feedback, anything you want, because you know, even if we're not an expert in it, we probably know someone who is. That's really what we want to be able to bring and be a conduit for folks so that they can find out what they need to do. And if we can be helpful to them, then let us be helpful. Then that's a really important thing. And yeah, I think this is really great, and we want to cover those topics with you and be that resource, that go-to resource, for this, especially for the customers that may not have that comfort level, or people don't have the comfort level to go in depth. You know, we have a very strong no acronym rule, because people use acronyms in IT almost to their own detriment. It makes us speaking our secret code. So the idea here is let's not do that. So
yeah, the only acronym you're going to hear in the office is KFC. That's about it.
Good vibes to KFC. Anyway, that's kind of it. And you know, I said we're gonna get it all together. And I think the last thing is we have some really cool stuff coming. Our next episode, 101 in January. We're taking a month off, a week off for a holiday. Month would be too long because that would defeat the purpose of the live stream. Yeah. But we're taking a week off next week, and so what we're end up doing is our first episode 101 is gonna be a great episode from Compliance 101 with a very special guest, an expert in compliance, Tim Golden from the Compliance Guys, where we're going to really go through some of the nuances of it. Just even talking about compliance, it's a really confusing topic, even for IT people. So I think it's a really good one for everyone to kind of tune in and just see some of the things that are evolving in that space. And we have a pretty long set of streams we're going to do around the compliance area to kind of get more in depth and more kind of uncover it, but make it in a way that's accessible and not as
demystify it is really what's going to happen. It's all the complexities. We're going to distill it down into exactly what you can wrap your head around and then build off of. Really get a strong foundation of understanding with regards to compliance. And I think that once you have that base understanding in place, we're showing off cats now. Okay.
I have to. Sorry, guys. She was all over the place. There's Pete. There he is.
And I'm excited about that. I've been chatting with Tim a lot lately. In fact, we kind of go back and forth every morning, and I have personally learned so much more about compliance, or he's at least clarified a lot of areas that were a bit murky for me. And I'm excited to have him join us on the stream and be able to do the same thing for a lot of small businesses. Really, really looking forward to that.
This is great. It's super cool stuff. And I guess with that, I mean, there's so much we could talk for hours here, but I'm sure everyone wants to get back to like their holiday. And
everyone's tracking Amazon deliveries. Let's let them get back to
it. But this to wrap it up. Thank you for everyone taking the time to make that little video with Matt to thank, and I think that's really kind of very, very powerful stuff. And I really appreciate people taking the time to do that. So with that, just we'll wrap it up, and I'll see everyone in the new year.
January 6th. We'll be
January
back January 6th.
January 6th. That's right. January 6th we'll be online. We're talking about Compliance 101 with Tim. And I hope everyone has a safe and amazing holiday and comes back refreshed and ready to crush it in 2022. All right.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right.
Yes,
thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye now. Thank you.